And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libby. Thanks so very much for joining us. This is the show about advertising, marketing, consumer trends, best business practices, all in an effort to help your company, no matter the size, grow and thrive in this economy or in any. If you want to engage us during the show, use their Twitter app and connect with us there. It's at InsightADV, at InsightADV. We'll take questions, comments before, during, and after the show, and we'll also post these videos up online just a little bit later on. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be able to have done this show for a number of years from the financial district here in Des Moines. Now, if you're watching us from New York City and you're going, wow, financial district in Des Moines, what are you talking about? Well, this is the home of some pretty significant insurance companies, banking interests. There's also a host of professionals that work and or live in the city core. And so we've had this opportunity to work and be here for quite some time. And there's always been this consternation with me about how people in middle management tend to dress. And it drives me absolutely wacko, all right? I can't necessarily explain that to you other than show you some pictures. These are candid shots that we took here in the financial district of Des Moines just last week in the span of about 10 minutes or so. And we didn't show anybody's face here. That wasn't our intent to embarrass anybody. But I want to show you some of the images that we caught while people were, and these are people that have name tags on there, you know, they're walking around here in the financial area, but this seems to be the mode of dress. Khakis and a polo. Khakis and a polo. Here we go. Khakis and a polo. It's like this is the official dress code for the financial district of Des Moines. Look at this. I mean, you know, look at this. And it just absolutely drives me crazy. We see it time and time again. And don't ask me about their shoes, okay? Don't ask me about their shoes. You know, I don't have any images of that, but there you go. Those are images of real live people over the span of about 10 minutes here in Des Moines that we took a photo of. All right, why am I sharing this with you? Because I think it's so vitally important. I don't care where you work, that you attempt to dress for success every day and break out of the mold. If that happens to be what you wear, break out of the mold, stand apart. You always want to be a middle manager? With me today to discuss this whole topic is my friend Tim Sitzmann. Tim Sitzmann is the owner of Mr. B, a clothing company here in Des Moines. You've got a couple of other businesses. Tim, thanks so very much for joining us today.
Nice to be with you, Michael.
This is, this is a passion of yours, I know.
Absolutely.
And
those are quite interesting observations of wardrobe, isn't it?
Yeah, it really. Now, okay.
Not shocking to us.
It's not shocking to you?
Not shocking to us. It's been going on. I've got a little history of that. I would say 1993, when the flood came through Des Moines, was probably the prime time when this started to happen. Prior to that, we used to have maybe 1,200 suits hanging at Mr. B's. Can I get up a little closer? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'd have 1,200 suits hanging, and now we have about 400 because it's changed. That's what you saw the change there. But it changed because they gave them a benefit that would say, hey, we'll give you the opportunity to dress as you'd like, and see what happened. And I think productivity went down as well.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I would think productivity went down. Right. Let me share.
Sure.
You know, in your business, and here's a couple of old guys.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We're a couple of old guys.
School guys.
Yeah, we're old school guys. I'll admit it.
Right.
You know, I'm over the age of 60, and here I am talking about dressing for success among people who are in their 30s and 40s.
Right.
But I still think that when you put on a decent set of clothes, you feel better.
There's no question. And there's some bright spots in this, Michael. I have to tell you, the young people coming out of college, there's certainly a group that respond to dress. Things are changing. I mean, people are more fit than they used to be 20 years ago. The opportunity to wear clothing well is there. So we're addressing those things. They're more apt to buy custom clothing than they did off-the-rack clothing before. And that, as what you showed me on that little snapshot of people walking through the corridors here, is that they're going to, I call it drive-through clothing. that's instant. They walk through it.
Drive-through clothing.
Yeah, they just pick up something. Don't care how it fits. Don't care how it looks. They cover themselves. We call it cover also. And those that we can get to and start to explain that it's still dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. That's a famous saying. Excuse me. But I think there's still a graduate, an educated human being, male and female, that want to look that way. We still hold out hope, and we work very hard at it. But it's still up to management to insist upon quality.
You know, in 1979, there was this watershed book that came out. John T. Malloy wrote it. It was called Dress for Success. It's 34 years ago.
Right.
I still have my copy.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, that book was given to me, and it was the Bible among those of us who are up and growing executives in whatever firm it was. And those who were brighter than us, those who were our fathers, those who were our mentors said, son, you want to go someplace, you got to look like you're going someplace. And that's how I got my book. It's still relevant today.
You know, we tend to be followers. You brought up the point that we're a khaki polo society, and I believe we are. I think that's a great observation. I can contend if you had the right idea and you got it sold, everybody'd walk off the cliff together. We tend to follow rather than lead. I tend to believe in the where's Waldo effect. You know, try to look different than everybody else in your company. Try to stand out, and if you do that through your expertise and your ability to do the job as well as dress, your chances of going up the ladder are far greater than those who just blend into the crowd and wear their khaki and polo. We're using that as a way of thinking, but I think if you tend to pay attention to every detail, you know, you'll go further.
Now, here's what I'm told, because I've had this discussion with some of these millennials, some of these individuals who are 25 to 35 years old, and I've had this discussion, say, how come at Wells Fargo's corporate office out in West Des Moines, people dress like schlumps? How come at the corporate office downtown, people dress like schlumps? What's the deal? And here's what I'm told, Tim. Many of these individuals have zero face-to-face contact with consumers. So their management say, hey, well, you know, wear jeans, wear whatever you're comfortable in. But conversely, here's another interesting statistic that we noticed. Women in those business practices tend to dress better than their male counterparts. What's going on with that?
Well, I think women in general it's kind of a feminine thing to pay attention to clothing. I think some masculine men tend to think, well, I don't need to dress well, but I contend that it still matters in the male world as well as the female world. I sometimes, I know statistics tell the story, but there's a lot of females that wear clothing that they shouldn't be wearing, improper clothing, because we're in a time, fashion-wise, where tightness and fit is everything, and some of the bodies don't go along with that. So we have to know our body as well as the clothing and styles and how to look our best. And I just think it's very vital that we pay attention and stand out in the crowd and way we dress and way we look to get where we want to go. To answer a little the question of why they do it is when we would go and talk to people 20 years ago about how to get a job, how to interview, and it was almost a blanketed old school deal. You know, you'd have a gray suit on and a white shirt and a red tie and a black pair of shoes and make sure they were polished. I could go over and over and over. Today we're interviewing for a computer job that never sees people, and they're in shorts and t-shirts and flip-flops. And if they have the skill set, they get the job. So the world has changed, but I contend that, you know, you keep your car clean, you keep your house clean, you dress well, no matter what your job, no matter who you are, you become a better person and more apt to be a successful person, and you stand out in the crowd. I think the Waldo effect is really very important. You know, where is that guy? Where is that gal?
Right. It's 25 minutes now past the hour. Tim Sitzmann is our guest, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about dressing for success and how that impacts you and your potential career. I would hope that it's a potentially great career. There's lots of things to talk about here.
Absolutely. We could go on for hours.
And when we come back, we're going to share some photographs that you've supplied to us about what looks good, what
some of the trends that's
some
going
of the trends.
on. Right.
And I want to caution you, if you've got some questions for Tim, go ahead and shoot us a tweet if you would. It's at InsightADV. That's at InsightADV, and we'll ask Tim those questions because I'm not the only person that sometimes is perplexed by this entire look. If you'd like to go ahead and join in the conversation, please feel free to do that. We'll be back with some images and talk more about dressing for success and what you should be thinking about, no matter if you have interaction with clients or not, because you still have interaction with your boss, I think. We'll be back with more right after this. This is Insight on Business, powered by our advertising agency, Insight Advertising, Marketing, and Communications, and brought to us by our friends at FWRSA, tax and accounting professionals that'll work hard for your business until the cows come home. We'll be back right after this.